So I came across this video where a young lady is talking about how she has to pay back taxes and she's a single mother of two. And it confused the hell out of me. So I definitely wanted to dive into it, but she actually posted two videos. So what we're going to do is I'm going to play the first one. We'll react and comment on it. And then we'll play her rebuttal because I guess a lot of people put a lot of comments in her on her channel. So she's come back and explain herself what she was talking about. So we'll go over that video too. But let's hit this one first.
And if anybody needed another reason to hate our government or the US, here's one. So I'm a single mom. I have two kids, a 2.5-year-old and a 4-year-old. Their dad is in their life 50%, no complaints there, whatever. Last year, I had to pick up a second job because I literally could not survive without it. I also had to have taxes not taken out of my full-time paycheck because I needed the whole thing to, again, survive. It was like a $200 difference every check. I had no choice. I just went and had my taxes done. Oh my God, it makes me want to cry just saying it out loud. I owe $7,000. $7,000. And that is after getting credit for the kids and childcare. We paid almost $18,000 in childcare last year and we got a $600 credit for it. 7 grand. I even went to look and see how much doing a payment plan would be because I can't come up with 7 grand by April 15th. There's no way. I would have trouble saving that in a year. If I were to do a payment plan, I would be charged 8% interest rate on the total amount owed every month, as well as a 5% late fee charge every single month until it was paid in full. So I would get charged 13% on the 7 grand I owed every single month, and I would only get 180 days to pay it off.
Credit cards.
What? Full transparency, if I did not have my kids, I would not be here. I hate life. I truly hate living. I have no free time. I have no social life. I have no dating life. I have nothing that makes me happy about being alive besides my children. And even then, it sucks because I can't give them the life that I want to or that they deserve because I am always struggling. If I could start over, move to a different country, I absolutely would, but I don't have that option. So for how my life is in this state and how much I am constantly struggling, I would choose to not be here if it were an option. And that is really fucking sad to say.
Okay, that's a lot to dive into. That's a very sad. First of all, that's kind of sad what she said toward the end. Life ain't that. I mean, to me, life ain't that hard. It ain't really that serious. You just gotta, what they say, play the cards you were dealt. She needs probably a different plan or a better plan, especially, and it's all based on finances. People don't realize that finances be the number one cause, or well, say the number one cause for like divorce, split up, or even the top cause for what she talking about doing. But like I said, I hopefully she'll get some kind of counseling or something that'll help her get through that ideology. But now let's go back through because, like I said, I want to dive into it. I got questions, I got comments, and hopefully you guys will join in on the fun. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit that notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Let's hit it again.
If anybody needed another reason to hate our government or the US, here's one. So I'm a single mom. I have two kids, a 2.5-year-old and a 4-year-old. Their dad is in their life 50%, no complaints there, whatever.
I watched many videos and I've lived around plenty of single moms, and that always disturbs me about saying that we're no longer together, but the dad is still in their lives. Well, my thing is this. Here's the issue. You got two children by the same dude, and they what she say, 4 and 2. My question is, were you married? Were y'all married? Were you married and got a divorce, or were you married and in the middle of a divorce? If you wasn't married, Why weren't you married? You got 2 children. This is why I try to tell youngins for sure, get to know somebody. If you feel that they're, you know, proper enough to date them for a little while, then you get, then eventually get married. And then when you get married, y'all live together maybe for a couple of years, 2, 3 years at the minimum, just so y'all can see how it is out there together before you decide to bring a child into this world. Because once you bring them into the world, man, it ain't no fun, especially now, because children are real expensive compared to maybe yesteryear. Matter of fact, I went to Chat GTP, and I asked the question. What did I ask? I said, "What's the cost of living comfortably for a single parent with 2 children in like the Dallas, Texas area?" And it gave me like a quick estimate. I'm gonna go through it. It said the estimate housing rent for a 2 bedroom apartment. That's another thing. Is she living in a house or is she living in an apartment? That's another question. But we'll get into that in a second. It say rent for a 2 bedroom apartment in Dallas can range from 1,200 to 2,200 per month, depending on the area. I remember first apartment that I had got back in the day was it was like 1996, I believe. It was 475, all bills paid, Canterbury Village. Never forget it. But now, like I said, that was a 1 bedroom, all bills, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, all bills paid. Now 1 bedroom, all bills. I don't think apartments even all bills paid no more. But you talking about $1,200, man? That's a lot. It said mortgage for a median price home in Dallas range from 1,800 to 2,500. So you best need to get your credit up and get a nice down payment, and you can get you a house probably in that 1,800, probably in that same neighborhood at 1,200. Crazy, ain't it? Full time daycare. Like I say, she had 2 kids, put them in daycare, can cost between $1,000 a month to $2,000 a month. So that's what anywhere from 12,000 to 24,000. This is average. You see, utilities run about 150 to 250 per month. Grocery, you're talking about 500 to 600, no, so $500 to $800 a month. A car loan, or got a car anywhere from $400 to $600 a month, plus anywhere from $600 to $800 a month for insurance, depending on what your credit is. And health insurance range from $400 to $700 a month. So it's saying that monthly expenses can range anywhere from $3,850 to $6,400 per month, what you need. In other words, you need to make anywhere from $50,000 to $75,000 a year as a single parent raising 2 kids to live comfortably. Not above your means, not lavish, not Gucci, but comfortably. Okay, let's get back into it.
Last year, I had to pick up a second job because I literally could not survive without it.
So that's another thing. If the dad is you're doing 50-50, and that's so I guess y'all was staying together. We get that. And now y'all are no longer together. So now you have to pick up a second job, which I mean, a lot of people do that here. I should do it being married. You got to pick sometime. The way this economy is going, you may have to pick up a second job. So you say you had to pick up a second job because now you getting all the responsibility. So instead of paying, let's say if your rent was $2,800 a month, now you got to do it all by yourself. Because your relationship was so bad. Now, I don't know if the dude was abusive, was a cheater, whatever. But like I said, a vetting process. People say you can't really vet people. Dude can lie, and a girl can lie. That's why you take your time and you start young, and you ease into relationships. You ease into them, you ease into marriage, and you ease into having children. You don't just bam, 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 and then, oh my gosh, I did not know this person was this way. It's what do you call it? Your life is an investment. Every day of your life is an investment. You need to treat it like it. Just like in the stock market, you put a little bit in at a time, a little bit in at a time. You're gonna have your ups and downs, ebb and flows, whatever you call it, ebbs and flows. And you're gonna have some times where you're gonna be scared to death, and you have other times where you're gonna be happy because your stock will increase by like 3 to 5% or something like that. It happens, but over time you'll look back and say, "Hey, it was worth it. It was hard. It was, so it was rough. We had great times, bad times, but the good outweighed the bad, and now we're here. You know, living happily ever after. But like I say, you try to rush into things, then you got to rush out of them when it gets bad. And so now you got to pay, like I say, $2,800 for an apartment, $500 for utilities on your own. Dad, all he's doing is saying, "Hey, what does the kid need?" That's who I'm gonna spend time with my children. Whatever they need, I'm gonna help pay for. But other than that, I ain't paying nothing else. Unless you get on child support, then it's just a flat fee, and don't matter what the heck the kids need. It's just what the judge says he needs. But yeah, real life, grown life is hard, man.
I also had to have taxes not taken out of my full-time paycheck because I needed the whole thing to, again, survive. It was like a $200 difference every check. I had no choice.
So she said she had no taxes taken out of, and 200. You know what? Hold on, man. Let me see something real quick. Real time. Now that I think about it, let me see. Let me see. How much would you earn if you had to pay $200 in taxes? Did you say every month? I'm gonna say every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. Let's see. Let's see if chat can give me a good answer on that one. I don't know. Let's see. Estimate pre-tax income $1,000. It's saying on that. Let's see. Step-by-step calculation. You pay $200 every 2 weeks. That's 26 pay periods in a year. $5,200 a year in taxes. Your pre-tax income will assume that the $200 tax payment is a consistent portion of your earnings. If tax a fixed percentage of income, you can use this formula, and it has like I say, it has a formula that will assume a 20% tax rate, because taxes depend on how much you make, going anywhere from like 20% to like 30 to 50%, depending on how much you make. So it's saying that, what did it say? Biweekly 200. Where'd it go? I lost it. Anyway, yeah. So estimate, pre-tax income at 20% rate is like $1,000 every 2 weeks. So guesstimation, she making like $2,000 a month. Damn, that it? That's if she don't, like I say, if she only taking out let's say $200 every pay period. Okay, let's continue.
Um, I just went and had my taxes done. Oh my God, taken out of my full-time paycheck because I needed the whole thing. I had to pick up a second job because I literally could not survive without it. I also had to have taxes not taken out of my full-time paycheck because I needed the whole thing to, again, survive. It was like a $200 difference every check. I had no choice.
Don't know if it's like all
Um,
taxes or some taxes. So we're just gonna keep going.
um, I just went and had my taxes done. Oh my God, it makes me want to cry just saying it out loud. I owe $7,000. $7,000, and that is after getting credit for the kids and childcare. We paid almost $18,000 in childcare last year, and we got a $600 credit for it.
I don't know about that tax credit, but I mean that daycare credit. But I know, like, if she got a little kid, she got a couple $1,000s per kid. She said the man, ex, claimed one child and she claimed the other, which is cool because once you go to court, I don't think you can do that unless the mom is cool with you on that front. But to owe $7,000 and to be single, that kind of confuses me, because my question is, again, one of my questions, like I say, is how much do she make? How much does she make? In order for you to take out, she said $200. Well, she said $200 per pay period that she's not having taken out, which is what, $5,200 per year that she's keeping in her pocket. So that makes sense. That part right there makes sense. Then you got a part-time job, where in the part-time job, they don't take out as much as your full-time job. Once if it's established that that's your, a PRN job, they don't take out as many taxes in that second job. So you could be on from that job. So yeah, it makes sense now that I sit here and watch this for the umpteenth time and saw the calculations. It makes a lot of sense. It doesn't make sense that she done it, but it makes sense that it happened. See, I've known and I know of women who were like single parents, and they said that, I mean, they claimed everything. They claimed themselves, claimed the children on the taxes still being paid, but you know, they got most of their money. So at the end of the year, but they would still get something back, which was crazy. Like I'm saying, I'm not really sure exactly what she's getting, what she's making, and how much what her tax rate is. Because it's still, well, like I said, the $5,200. I mean, hell, if she made to where she wasn't paying any taxes, or making sure she was withholding, like not paying a certain amount of taxes every pay period, then like I say, I get it. But my dad taught me back when I was in high school working at Minyards to always claim zero. Claim zero. Don't even claim yourself when you file a tax. Didn't understand it then, but I understand it now, because he's like, you don't want to owe Uncle Sam at the end of the year. I mean, if you got to owe very little, but you don't want to owe him at the end of the year, because, like she was like, because of the interest, like she's talking about 13%. 13% on anything is a lot. You may not think it's a lot for like maybe like a couple of dollars, but when you're talking about thousands of dollars and it's compounding every month, yeah, that's a whole hell of a lot of money, especially if you ain't got like $1,000. And she said that she needed every dime she got to survive, but she was able to go find another apartment. So why didn't she get something smaller, or move into a neighborhood that she probably didn't want to move into? But financially, you just had to do it because, again, y'all chose not to do right by each other, so y'all split up. And so now she's suffering, paying the price. I wonder how he's doing.
7 grand. I even went to look and see how much doing a payment plan would be, because I can't come up with 7 grand by April 15th. There's no way. I would have trouble saving that in a year. If I were to do a payment plan, I would be charged 8% interest rate on the total amount owed every month, as well as a 5% late fee charge every single month until it was paid in full.
Like I said, it's better than credit card. Credit card running what, 22, 27, 28% right now? Shoot, you better pay that bill.
So I would get charged 13% on the 7 grand I owed every single month, and I would only get 180 days to pay it off.
Sure.
What? Full transparency, if I did not have my kids, I would not be here.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that part, because, like I said, it's not that serious. Number one, you don't put stuff like that online, because you don't understand how kids take things, and her kids could see this and think that really they're the problem. Because, I mean, let's just use common sense. If you didn't have the two children, you wouldn't have to pay 18,000 in daycare. Your food bill will be cut down probably in half. You could work two jobs if you wanted to, and live like a queen if you wanted to. But children are expensive. They say children cost what, half a million, quarter of a million, $500,000 to raise nowadays. I mean, hell, they cost money. And you have to understand that. So now the thing is, what are you willing to sacrifice now? Because you're going to have to. You got to sacrifice something to try to get ahead. I know I had to, and it was hard. But once you get to where you need to go, you can look back and say it's worth it. Now you say you got two kids, you got two jobs. So now I'm sure you're paying daycare. So that means somebody else is pretty much raising your child, in the daycare system, school system. Well, they're babies. They're not even school system yet. Good Lord. So, tell them what you're going to do once they go to school, because now your time is going to have to change, picking them up. You know what I'm saying? They got school and daycare, after school daycare, catching a bus to daycare, all that kind of stuff. One going to school, one not, one going to daycare, the other one going to school. So your travel plans and things going to have to change. It's a lot, man. It's a lot trying to do it by yourself. But like I said, you don't post stuff like that online, because you think you're telling your kids that they are a blessing as to why you're here. But they may think that, man, if I wasn't here, mama would be living better because it's our fault. It's because of us that she's struggling because she's trying to take care of us. See what I'm saying? So you got to be careful with stuff you say. But anyway, let's go to the second video, her little rebuttal, real quick, and then we'll finish it up.
So I've had a lot of comments like this one on the last video that I posted. So I want to touch base on a couple of things. One, I did go to a tax professional. I did not do H&R Block or TurboTax or anything like that. I went to a legitimate place that I've been going to for years. My refunds every other year have been great. This year was different.
And I
So
think it was different because you had that second job. You also got to understand too. Once you get to a second higher tax bracket, uh, your taxes once you make a higher tax bracket making a certain amount of money, more money than what you've been making. What did she say? Say this is more money I've made ever in my life. Well, welcome to being grown because once you shoot, I can attest that I can remember for years they never had to pay back no taxes. But you talking about making $12 an hour, $13 max as an adult per hour as an adult. So when it came around the tax season, shoot, I was looking forward to them few $100, maybe a couple $1,000, whatever. Easy. Go to school, get a degree, multiply that by, don't really want to say, but hitting that, going, doing, and I do my own taxes with a little help, a little assistance every now and then on what you call it, TurboTax. And now it's like, uh, hit that button, and I still, like I say, claim zero. Don't claim myself, don't claim nothing. And I may get a little bit back, but that's only because of like my business or what have you, and the expenses of that. That's the reason why I get something back. But in real life, it'd be right around either barely red or barely green or black, however you want to call it. But that's because again, I zero file zero at a single rate. So they can take it all during the year because I do not want to owe Uncle Sam at the end of the year. Just don't want to do it. And if I do, I don't want it to be a whole lot. But again, you working two jobs. When you make more money, you get to another tax bracket. So that little $200 that you keep, yeah, it might help. But what you ain't realizing is you need to be looking at your tax rate to see if that $200 if it's worth it, because undoubtedly it's not.
So I got a second job. I made more money in the eyes of the government, which is true. I made more money than I've ever made this year. But my bills also tripled. When my kid's dad and I separated, I had to literally start over. I had to get a new place to live. I had to find a new car. I had to take out personal
I wonder
loans.
why. Because I'm looking at this and I see you are a woman. Because I don't see why you moved, why you had to get a new car. Because I'm speaking up on like from the experience of a divorced dad, where I moved, got another place. I already had still had my car was already paid off. I had to, try to get out loans because, shoot, when you get divorced, man, that stuff dries you up, especially as a man. Things of this nature, I had to start all over and trying to go to school and, and stay in the kids' lives and stuff like that. While the children was mainly with her, but they, I see them every day. They come stay with me anytime they want to, but that ain't the point. So I'm just not really understanding from a man's point of view why she had to do so much.
I had to buy all new
Unless,
furniture.
the house that they were staying in was a big house and they was, paying 50-50, or, they can afford. So they was pretty much kind of living above their means, really. Because the two of them say, hey, we both of us can live together. We can get a bigger house, better neighborhood, and we can afford it because it got two incomes. But then when you knock out one income, okay, I get it. I get it now. Knock out one income, especially if you're not making a lot, because you had to get two jobs to make ends meet. That means he was probably making most of the money and making it easy for y'all to pay for stuff. Man, get y'all relationships right, man.
And that took a financial toll on me. I literally started over again. I'm not stupid. I was fully aware that I would owe taxes back. When I opted out of taxes being taken out, I did the math when I made that decision, and I expected to have to owe back $4,000 to
So she,
$5,000.
yeah, that's what I was just said.
I assumed I would get $2,000 back per kid, so I expected to pay $1,000 to maybe $2,000 outside of that. I did not get to claim both kids. Their dad got to claim one because he's in their life 50%, which is fine. I understand that. So that changed it a little bit. I did not expect it to be 7,000 outside of the 2,000 I got back from my son. That was not anticipated, or I wouldn't have made that decision.
Because you didn't do the math. You did partial math. I want to say something else, but trying to use profanity. Probably the sugar I've been eating lately. Like I stopped, get back off that sugar. But anyway, you really didn't do the math. You did the math to where okay, $200. That's $5,200, so I can look forward to paying $5,200 back next year. So I'm gonna get another job, so that way I can save that money. And when it comes around next year, I'll be able to pay that back. Well, in Dallas, you don't even have the $5,200 to pay back that you knew that you were keeping. So now it looks like you're just not balancing your budget correct according to your plan, which people got to understand is you are in a certain situation because of the choices that you make. And a lot of times when people get a mulligan or a reprieve or get a second chance, most of the time they continue to make the same choices and decisions that they made. They got them in that same position. That's how banks, loan companies, IRS, credit cards, that's how these people stay in business because they know people's habits.
So another thing people are saying is, well, look at your nails. Like, why are you spending that money? I should not feel guilty about spending $50 a month on myself for a little bit of happiness.
I won't call it happiness, but y'all women too concerned with happiness. But hey, I wouldn't trip on nails and eyeliner, looking like a female. Nothing wrong with trying to look like a female. $50 a month to me don't seem that bad. But I mean, but if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. Go up there and get you some press-ons and call it a day. But
Work
$50 a
fucking hard.
month, them are press-ons. Huh. Because going to a nail shop, man, that's $50 a visit, minimum.
Hard. 70 plus hours a week for months
Okay.
myself for a little bit of happiness. I work fucking hard. 70 plus hours a week for months. And I shouldn't feel bad about spending some of it on myself. I don't live outside of my means. I don't go crazy to buy myself things all the time. I don't have luxurious things. I don't get my hair done constantly. But I shouldn't feel bad about occasionally using some of the money that I work fucking hard for to try and enjoy life.
70 hours a week. Woman, you got 2 full-time jobs. Who is watching your children? You are still paying hella daycare. You and your ex are paying hella daycare. Because you got 2 and 4-year-olds, which means somebody has to be watching your kids 24 hours a day.
People have mentioned my eyebrows. I don't get them done. I use a $6 pen and draw them in every day. So thanks for the compliment. And then people like this one where they talk about my tattoos. I think you're forgetting that I just recently had kids. I had a whole decade of life that I got to live before that. And that's where I accumulated this from. I had no other obligations in my younger days. So I only had to pay rent and a couple of other bills. The rest of it was just extra. So I did all of these things when I got to live that life. I have not had anything new in years. So the fact that people have this mindset where they're saying that I need to budget better or not spend money on certain things, it's crazy. I do budget. I do penny pinch. But it's wild for people to say that I can't use the money that I work fucking hard for to buy anything for myself or do anything that brings me happiness.
Well, see, really, let's see. No, you don't budget. You budgeting after the fact. You didn't budget ahead of time because if a lot of us, and so I put myself in that category. But like I said, once you do better, once you know better, you do better. We don't budget for future issues. Like we don't budget for children. We don't sit down and think, hey, if we have these babies, how much is it going to cost us to raise these kids? We don't think about that until we find out that, saying our woman is pregnant. And now we're like, oh my God, now we're in a panic. We don't realize that how much it costs to raise time and money, not just money, but time and money. So you're budgeting after the fact, like I say, like most people, but this is why they say, these schools need to come back with home ec, come back with sex education class, come back with classes that teach these youth. Cause they thinking, oh, they learn sex education in sixth grade, they're gonna go out there and have babies. Well, at least some guns still having babies in sixth grade. So shut up. At least you're giving them some kind of instruction on how to survive in this life. But there need to be parents too, need to drill in their kids. Look, this is what it's going to cost. This is what it's going to take to raise a child, either married or by yourself. Budget accordingly. Prepare your life accordingly. So when that happens, you are prepared. Because if you don't, you're setting yourself up for failure. So again, like I said, you are budgeting after the fact, which means you just may not be able to spend stuff on yourself for happiness, because children are supposed to bring happiness. Waking up every day, stepping outside, putting your feet in the grass and walking and enjoying the sunshine should bring you happiness. Nails and eyebrows, I mean, I don't think this make you happy. That's a mask to make you feel like a woman. And I got nothing against that. No problem with that at all. You do that, you should have so yeah, you should look feminine no matter how hard it is, just like a man. Walk out the house every day looking like stone cold, looking like a man. So not looking like the world is dragging me down, hair out of place, clothes all wrinkled, walking with my shoulders slumped. None of that. Knowing the weight of the world is on my shoulders. You don't do that. You don't let the world know that you're going through some things. So as a woman, I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should do that either. But anyway, hey, to sum this up, man, hey, this is just life lessons. I'm gonna say that she's learning this at a young age, but say she had a decade of being grown before she had children, which is good. But again, that decade probably should have saved up a little nest egg, because I'm sure you said you had planned on having kids at some point in your life. So this is just a lesson to everybody, man. Just like I said, good thing she's learning now. Her kids are young. She can still, hey, like I said, with the help she's getting or whatever, she probably take classes. Like I said, she probably is budgeting now, but you budgeting for the choices you made, not for the choices you are about to make, which is what the majority of us do. That's just how we live life. But hey, more power to her. She stay on this on TikTok and social media. I'm sure she'll bring in a couple of dollars, a few nice checks with these videos, and pay that IRS bill off before you know it. Anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. You know how we do it around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those four things cost you nothing but maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us. If you like support financially, you can get super thanks, super chat, super stickers, and you can go to the description box and links there you can click on to help support the channel. Don't forget to hit that shop button, and also go to marlonmorale.com to check out our products. I promise you will not be disappointed. Like I said, we got silks, perfumes, colognes, we got luxury items that high quality, you will not be disappointed. With that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.